Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where this week we are reeling because, man, there's a lot of games to play, but it seems like I'm in gaming paralysis. I think Everborn Saga, you might be in the same. We'll get into it. But of course, I am your host, Mr. K. Asante, TKO Asante, and all the places we communicate. And these days, that is mainly on discord.gg/TGCP. But of course, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the one who used to be sick. I hope you're feeling better now, Mr.
I am 85% right now. I got my energy back. Okay. Still got a mean cough, so I might have to go on mute every now and again. But I am alive. The rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated. Now, I do want to take a moment to shout out to the early stragglers. Number one, obviously, shout out to the one and only Lord Negatron. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to MJ Dark, Zach Riley, Six Slayer, Eastside Vandal.
Well, no, not Eastside.
What up?
Not Eastside.
Oh, yeah, except for Eastside. Everybody except Eastside, have a good morning.
So real quick, I have a hypothesis for about Eastside, and this is just early in the morning for those who happen to know, because you know y'all are in here, and many of y'all from the Discord. I think Eastside Vandal is GCP's kryptonite. He showed up, and people are like, "Screw it, I'm done here."
Oh no, yeah, he we've been going to battle with FAMAS for a long time, and who knew?
All we needed was Vandal. Like, damn.
Eastside Vandal was the nuke.
I'm messing with him. We do this out of love. Shout out to the great Eastside Vandal. It's all good. I hope everybody do well, and of course the great Stilo Fax, who's in the chat as well. What's going on? Yes. Oh, Eastside says, "Stop it. I just ask questions." Yes, in his low monotone heart rate not raised way, you know. Oh, Six Slayer goes, FAMAS got blasted. Missed you, bro. Where you been? See you in the Discord. Anyway,
FAMAS self-deported.
Oh man. Anyway, let's not do this right now. So good morning, one and all. This will be a very, I suspect, a concise show. We're on the mend, some of us, but we still been playing some games. There's still some news going around, and there's some awesome stuff to talk about.
Speak for yourself, and I don't speak French. You said we've been playing some games. I have in the last.
Well, then tell us what's going on. Yeah.
I have not touched the controller. Unfortunately, I was like sick in bed for the last week, and the week before that, I had decided I was gonna, as we talked about last week, catch up on some of the shows like Andor and things like that. And I did watch a few movies, which we can talk about later. I got a bone to pick with MJ Dark about a film recommendation.
Damn!
And 90 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. But we will get to that when we get to it. That being said, I did buy a bunch of games because even when I don't have time to play, I do like to support them. So I do want to mention these games that I got. This is not an endorsement of these games, but they did enough to get me to buy them. I have not tried them yet. So number one, we've got Super Alloy Crush.
Super Alloy Crush?
Yes.
Interesting. That's an interesting name. Rolls off the tongue, I guess.
Right. I don't know if you want to bring it up because I think people might like.
I'm going to find it. If I can find the stuff for it real quick. Super Alloy Crush. Let me find the details. Tell me a bit about it while I look for it.
No, I mean it's a platformer. I just really like the combo system that I saw. Seems very fast paced. But again, I have not played this yet. But I did pick it up off of I believe MJ Dark's recommendation. So he's good on the game on the 2D platformer recommendations. But this Undertone movie.
Okay.
Yeah. We got to talk
Alloy Crush. All right. Almost Mega Man
style. Yes.
In its pursuits. Okay. That's cool. So I would imagine over time you're getting more powerful, you're getting more or like weapons and stuff. Okay. I feel like Mega Man as that genre of game has been kind of left dormant for a while now. Almost.
Well, that's why Capcom's coming back, baby.
Okay. This is cool looking. All right. What else you got?
Yeah. All right. So the next one is Atomic Owl.
You and your owl games. Okay. Atomic Owl.
Hey, Owl Boy is the GOAT. If you know, you know.
Of course. We all remember what it brought to us. The question is, what does this bring to you?
I don't know yet. I just this had a good trailer, and I was like, I didn't even look at any reviews on this one. I bought this one off the trailer alone because I think it was like $8 or something wild.
Atomic Owl. Is this the gameplay you saw, sir?
Yes, it is.
Well, all right. Tell us about Atomic Owl. Why did this catch your eye, sir?
No, because it's like it's old school platformer. It was super cheap.
It definitely
is. And I like looking at new game design mechanics so that I can potentially steal them. So
you can potentially steal them.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So
wait a minute. Just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Listen. Undertone was a 90-minute movie, and only the last 10 minutes of it was good. I'm sorry. The actors were not believable. The guy on the phone and the main actress,
we're not going to do
no chemistry.
You're not going to punch the man in the chat. If y'all gonna if he's going to come on the show, y'all and have it out, that's a different conversation. Stop punching the man in the chat.
No. He asked about why I didn't like the movie. This is me talking about the movie that I said, Undertone was good. It was fantastic. The octave
went high, like 3 octaves.
Listen, Undertone was fantastic. It had a fantastic ending. The build-up was very dry to me, and I did not like the voice actors because a lot of it takes place on it's on a podcast, right? Interesting, right? But they're only showing you from one of the podcasters' perspectives, and the other podcaster, whatever his name was, I don't think he delivered his lines well, and the main actress, I don't think that they had chemistry to for them to be on a podcast for so long. Also, I would like to ask, if you saw this movie, how long were those podcasts? Because it seemed like they were 10-minute podcasts, and they were just like, all right, that's enough, call it a day, right? This is like if we started talking about a topic and then shut it down. It was like, all right, that's it, folks. See you in 2 weeks or whatever we feel like.
In 2 weeks, we're done. We are.
So I don't know. It's just the premise was good. That I understand what people are saying about the sound design, but I just feel like what was on display at the end, if you had more of that in the film, because even that is not something where it's like it took a lot to do, but it was just well put together. So I've struggled to stay with it, and then in that last ending part, I was like, all right, this is what you want. So it was 90 minutes, and I think it was at least an hour too long.
Wow. Okay. That's some strong critique.
I tried my best. And I bought that as soon as it became available because I got glowing recommendations of it. $24 to be entertained for the final 10 minutes. It's rough. But all right. So 2 more games and then we'll be done. More games. Let's go. So we have, what's the name of this one? This is Gunboat. This is like Gunboat? If you are, yeah. Do you remember Pepper Grinder?
Pepper Grinder, of course. Yeah, I remember Pepper Grinder.
This is like, I think it's from the same people, but it's the same style of game.
Okay. Gunboat. Let's see.
Gunboat.
Black and white game?
Like it can be. Game? It can be black and white. Okay. But
let's see. So this is the general gameplay. Oh wow, that's interesting. That is quite interesting. So you're in the Black Sea. it's more essence than it is like defined character, but I see what they're going for. It's pretty cool. How much was this?
This wasn't expensive. I don't think it was. It was definitely less than $20, but probably $10.
It does look. I like the way they use the silhouette. The way they're using silhouettes. It's very well. Yeah, excellent.
All right, and then last but certainly not least, we have I don't even know how to pronounce this. This is Town of Zaz.
Spell Zaz.
Z-O-Z.
Town of Zaz.
Yes.
They all, you know what? Everborn Saga does have a type. He has a style. He has a style.
What can I say, folks?
Yeah, he has a specific thing he seeks out because, man, it looks like it's like it fits his modus operandi. There you go. So
this is a 3D action adventure. See, you guys thought when he said that he was going to be talking about a Metroidvania. No, it is a 3D platformer. Well, not a 3D platform, like a top-down, but it's 3D action adventure. Yeah. Pretty fun. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It has very, very simplistic, old school sensibilities.
Exactly. 360 era
stuff. Let's cut to some of the okay, puzzles, I assume. All right. Platforming. Interesting. All right, cool. So I assume we may be hearing back from you on some of these games as you play through them and give us some of your takes on them.
Yes. Now there are others, but I'm gonna leave them to you. Okay. 2 other games that I picked up. Well, this I bought Pragmata months ago.
Okay. I have not played Pragmata. Right? I have not played Pragmata, but yeah,
right. I hear Green Man Gaming just sent me my code, so I have that.
Okay.
And then something you have played is Replaced. And I say all of this to say, I don't know if I'm ever going back to Crimson Desert because listen to all of these games. Man. And I have not even played this yet.
So let's have that conversation real quick, okay? Crimson Desert, right? I too have not played Crimson Desert in the past maybe 3-4 days, and that
feels like an eternity, doesn't it?
It does, really, it does. My life has been crazy the last couple of days. A lot of crazy stuff going on at work, so it's kind of forced me to kind of reprioritize just in the short term. I plan on going back though because as they are rigorous updaters, as they are, they've updated the game enough to now it being playable on the Intel-based MSI Claw, and it plays actually pretty damn good on that thing now.
And not only that, the update is if it's not out right now, it will be out in short order. They have different controller presets, which is the thing that I harped on about from day one.
Well, so I think both of us can kind of take a little bit of not a victory lap, but like we can kind of thread it a little here because, as I said, it would be very difficult, especially now knowing what the late game looks like, for them to just let you have ability to remap your controller at will, right? And I thought that it would take a lot of time to retest that because, man, they have a very deep bench of controls, right? And you were like, they got to do it. They can do it. They're just taking their time. They'll eventually do it. Now it looks like they've at least tested a second control scheme to a point where they're releasing it to people. That's a good.
Well, they said multiple presets, so they'll probably have a few options. What I'm mainly looking for is A to jump and X to attack. We'll see what they come up with. So I don't want to take a victory lap until I see what the presets are. They might say like L2 is to jump.
They might make it even more complicated.
In the preset. Oh wait, hold on. We had a huge misstep here.
Okay.
There's another game that I picked up that I did not mention, and this is actually going to be my next game that out of all of those, this is going to be the one that I try first.
Okay.
Mouse PI for Hire.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That came out this week. We cannot let the episode go by and not talk about that.
So people in the chat, have you picked it up? If you have, what are your thoughts? I've been so wanting to play this damn game. Just the look of it screams like attention, So tell me more, what drew you to it? This is basically a first person shooter, right?
Yeah, it is. If Cuphead was a first person shooter, right? And that 30s sort of text Avery art style. It's just this. You don't see things like this often, right? And so like actually getting it and then them committing to it and then it being black and white, like
Lord Negatron says he had to take a break because it was too much black and white. A lot of black and white imagery.
Okay. Listen, it might end up hurting my eyes. I don't know, but like it is the one that this and Replace were the two games I have been super excited about. By the way, everybody go and get Replaced. You know what? You know what we should do? We should give away some Replace codes. I'm gonna get
Go. Well,
what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say so unfortunately we were doing some we had some replaced plans, which by the way, let's talk about
it. Plans have been replaced?
No, they haven't been replaced, they've been extended, postponed, if you will. We were hoping to have a nice chat with some folks who are part of the replaced team or specifically an individual, you know who I'm talking about. But because of reasons and timing, schedule and whatnot, that's not gonna happen. But we definitely will have some folks from the dev team on the show to talk more Replaced. And when that happens, we'll be doing a code extravaganza, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be throwing codes like Oprah. But if you feel like you're so inclined, sir, please, I will not stop you.
I think I'm going to
I will not stop you. And while you do so, I will talk to the fine folks about the I would say the magnificence that is Replaced. Okay. A shout out to the great Show Tech doing the Lord's work as usual. He has put the link of Replaced in the chat. I would say seek it out. There's the Steam code. It's also available on Game Pass. It's also available as a Play Anywhere title that you can buy. I suggest you buy it because very, very, very indie developer. As I have said on this show time and time again, we love to see developers who can literally eat from the money you provide them and basically allow them to make another game with it. And that's definitely what's going to happen here when you do this. We've been blessed enough to be able to have a chat with the one of the developers of this show, of Replaced. He has been kind enough to actually give us some of his time, a lot of his time actually. Shout out to the Discord. He joined us in the Discord. He's been there from time to time. He jumps in and chats with us while he's building his game. So we've had a chance to communicate with him for a few times now.
All right. So, this is what we're gonna do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
By the end of the show, Kay Asante, you are gonna find a reason to choose someone, and I'm gonna buy them Replaced, whether they want it on Xbox or Steam.
Oh, there you go. It's a beautiful thing. Now I hear the reviewing public has been, I would say, not all over the place, but some have been kind, some have not been. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit after we discuss this game. But what is this game essentially? Essentially, it is what you would call a precision platformer and a beat 'em up, right? It's a beat 'em up with Arkham combat, and it has moments of precision platforming. It also has kind of an old school feel. It does a bit more of the I wouldn't call it point and click adventure, but more of the action adventure where there are hub worlds where you can go and get quests, right? And it switches between various aspects of it, and it's really, really seamless in giving you like different gameplay styles. So you're in this world, and then for you're enjoying the gameplay elements here, and then it switches to another one, and then you deal with that for a little while, and then it's another one, right? All the while, the backdrop is a killer cyberpunk-esque Blade Runner-esque, 80s futurism-esque story. It's very cool, like very cool. I am very impressed by what the story that's being told here. I've been playing it slowly. I've had a chance to play a few builds of it as it was maturing, so I've been playing it for some time. But like, this is me playing it through from end to end. I'm almost at the end. I've actually played through it a few times now, but I'm almost at the end, like in my latest playthrough. But I implore folks to really find the time from end to end. If you really like mainline it, about 8 hours, you're done. If you really want to like be a completionist about it, 11, 12 hours, something like that. But man, the level of the visual fidelity they have on display, the juxtaposition of pixelation and new modern sensibilities. You're even seeing it here with the lighting that they're doing a little bit here. The way the satisfying the way the combat feels. Go read the reviews. There are a bunch of them out there. It is quite something. I think it's a very special game, and it started off kind of buggy. There were some bugs. I was talking to some folks, and yeah, they experienced certain bugs with it. I know the developer is like rigorously like working on revisions and cleaning it up and all of this, but like from a content perspective, I think this is the kind of stuff that people go to video games for. Mature stuff. You can see where a lot of the reference points lie. It is a lot of fun, pulpy storytelling. I'm really having a great time with this thing. So, Everborn Saga, I know you haven't played it yet. Why have you not played this yet? What is wrong with you, man?
I was on my deathbed for a week, sir. I have not played anything.
What, your fingers wasn't working?
My fingers? No, they weren't. Matter of fact. Damn it. Listen, what we need to be talking about is that dumbass IGN headline about Replaced.
Oh boy.
With the AI.
Yeah. So just for those who don't understand, and this is really like not a spoiler, and even if it is a spoiler, it needs to be said in order to understand what the hell's going on with this whole article thing. In this story, your body, the person who's running around, is just a body because you've been taken over by an AI. How that happened, who it is, all the logistics, blah, 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 that you will find out in the story. But you are essentially an AI that you're running on. The protagonist is an AI in a human body. So yeah, IGN decided to not
read the headline out loud. And again,
where's it again? I don't have it in front of me. Forgive me. Let me find it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, IGN made it seem like the game was made from AI rather than the game having an AI protagonist. Right. More than that, though, the bone that I kind of have to pick, not specifically with IGN, but just in general, and this kind of, I'd say the recent articles from this game and others have kind of crystallized it for me, and it's how reviews are being handled and how reviews get handled in general. And I actually brought it to one of our community members, Lonix Lewis Dorr. Shout out to Lonix. He wrote an article for us that I actually want people to go check out on thegamingcircle.com. And it actually speaks to some of that. But I wanted to bring it to your attention too, Everborn Saga. It's this idea that when games come out, they themselves they should be judged as content vehicles, right? Like they are the content they're delivering you, the storytelling, the gameplay, and all of that, and how well it delivers it, right? Whether it be the depthness at which the craft is delivered or whatever, and also the technology and the strength and how clean it is and all of that. And all of them should be I think judged individually, because sometimes a game being buggy, while righteous to be providing criticism to it, because you're providing the consumer knowledge that, hey, this game is potentially buggy, so this is what it looked like. It is a moment in time, and that time changes, and that game could still be content complete and beautiful and 10 out of 10 or whatever it is. right? But every review will remind you or give you the perception that it is far less because maybe at that initial time it was buggy. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think of that idea? And it's not to say that the onus is on developers or necessarily on publishers. I just feel like that fundamental bedrock of reviews in the world we live, where games are basically ever living and can get a 2.0 and 3.0 and all of this, it makes that existing paradigm of reviews a little hard to continue to justify. I don't know. Well, what do you think of it, Vaughn? Oh, did we lose you? If you're speaking, you're on mute, sir.
My bad. I'm sorry. I love the article. I love the thought that was put into it. But I don't care about these damn reviews. They're never going to be fixed. We're screaming into the wind. Watch the trailer, listen to the dev diaries, decide if you want to play it, get recommendations from people you know.
But you know why it's important though, Everborn. You know why it's important. Because
but it's not going to get fixed. It's not.
Look, listen, some developers have to depend on their livelihoods based on these reviews, bruh. Right?
Yeah, well, maybe the audience should be more like Everborn. Maybe we got to put this on us. Exactly. Y'all got to be more like me. Get a good trailer. Find a dev you like. Give us some trust.
You do realize
think about how many other things you waste your money on, and just.
But that's exactly the point. Being like you ends up wasting a lot more money, because you buy many things that you end up either not playing or trying and then regretting later because you were just taken by a good trailer.
Hey.
So not everybody has the disposable income, Mr. Everborn Moneybags. You know what I mean?
To quote P. Diddy, it's just paper. You know.
Listen to this guy. What are we talking about here? Mr. Everborn out of touch? What are we doing? There's a reason reviews exist, ladies and gentlemen. It is because not everybody has the same amount of disposable income as Everborn Moneybags over here. So
listen, I'm buying games that are $10 and $15. Okay, I'm not. This is like sure. To me, if you are less than it costs me to go to Starbucks, I will give you a shot if you got a good trailer. I don't care if I don't like it, I don't like it. But you know, if you're not trying to kill me on the price, if you're charging a $70 game, okay, I got to do some research now.
But this is my point.
$20 or less. I'm not asking too many.
This conversation governs all of that. It governs the $70 game and the $20 game. I agree with you though that the $20 game doesn't hurt as bad. That's fine, you know. And by the way, replace this $20, $19.99. So it shouldn't hurt you to give it a shot. And it's actually a very decent game, as I mentioned. But the fact that it was buggy initially, right? And even forget.
Yeah. You know what else was buggy initially? Spider-Man 2.
Right? Sure, right? Or Crimson Desert or some other game, right? Those games, like 6 months, a month from now, don't play anything or feel anything like they did when they initially dropped. But because of the reviews are a dead document, as they always have been, right? Now, if you are a person like Everborn Saga who likes to get to the game like a year, 2 years, 5 years later, now every time you go to review, you think this game sucks, that game sucks, because if you depend on reviews, all they show you is what it was day one, which was buggy, and maybe that's why it got a bad score.
But right? This is the problem, right? I have never seen an ACG review that when I went back and played the game, I wasn't like he was on point. People are doing too much looking at aggregate scores because they don't have the time. And if you don't have the time to go do the research and you spending your $70 by just looking at an aggregate score full of, I will almost curse, but I use my one for the day, full of a bunch of people who don't play games, don't know what they're talking about, or just have different tastes than you, that's a you problem. That is your fault. So the real answer is we should stop giving so much weight to
DJ Bird DOS.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
You showed up with some fight this morning. Good morning, sir.
But again, I just think that the onus is on us here, and the review situation isn't going to change. You have to find the reviewers that you know do the Lord's works, the reviewers that you know play and review the kind of games that you like, and then look at their opinion instead of saying, hey, what does the whole crowd think? What the whole crowd thinks doesn't matter to you.
So I would actually say, and I agree with you, your sentiment on that. I
think the players need a 2.0 line of thinking.
Well, I think both are warranted here, and I'll put the link in the chat. I would ask folks to read it. I want you to like get some conversation started with that, because like I agree with you that gamers themselves also must mature their thinking in that way, but I think we have to meet each other halfway in that way, right? I would love a new interesting reviewer or review studio or review company, right, who would come out and go, hey, this is how we're going to do it now, because and I'm talking about what's being proposed here with the idea of a living score and all this. Like it's interesting. I don't know how it's implemented and all of that, right? But I feel like we need to mature our thinking, and so too must the review process, in order to account for how games are now being released, right? Like we're not reviewing, we're reviewing 2026 games using the same rules and guidelines we did like Mario 64. Like there's been a lot of change and upgrade since then, right? So I feel like it is a worthwhile endeavor, even though, yes, cynically, I do agree with you, everyone. Saga. Ultimately, it may not change. The winds of change may not blow writ large, but forget the aggregators, right? Maybe this will spurn some review houses to change their ways, and if that's just one or two, that's
okay. I would like to point your attention to the review scorecard that our good buddy Black Viking tried to offer to
Yes, he did. Yes,
and their reaction to it.
I know.
This
it was hell on earth, if you recall.
Change nothing.
Hey, man.
I am sorry. Sorry to be the
Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer. I don't know. What is the male version of a Debbie Downer?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's slow-mo backslap. Okay, I got it.
Oh, wow. You threw slander and he's not even here yet. That is
he's not. My bad. Okay. All right. Well, when he gets here, I'll try to make that joke again.
That's terrible. Anyway, but all right. So yeah, I honestly think that people should read it. I think that reviews should be a thing that people, for those who care, because reviews are a big business. They are, right? If they weren't, they wouldn't still be as contentious as they tend to be, right? So for the segment of the audience that does care, hey, it's a thing, and I think it requires a bit more attention. And Lonix had some thoughts on it, and I appreciated him doing that. So go check it out. Let's ever sleepy rock voice saga. Oh man, he's accusing you.
Soil Tech says, I object to slander. Listen, Soil, if you want, I can write it, and then it'll be libel. It's up to you. You tell me.
See, now they're using legalese slander. All right. So let's catch up on a couple super chats, and then we'll get back to the topics at hand. Hollywood Rules with the final super chat. What's going on, Hollywood Rules? He says, "Good morning, Graybeards. Happy Saturday. Just got back from NOLA. Fiance took me on a quick birthday trip to celebrate my 53rd. Man, French Quarter Fest is awesome. Happy birthday, bro. That is amazing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, bro. Yeah, that's awesome. You
see, you speak of the devil's name and he arrives.
He says Slow-mo Backslap says the male version of a Debbie Downer is Everborn, telling people y'all should be like me. If y'all not like it, it's your own fault.
That's not really a Debbie. Okay, I don't want to get into that.
Hollywood Rules continues it with a $2 super chat saying replaced at airport on ROGLIX was perfect. Yeah, I actually think
did Hollywood Rules ever get those grips we talked about?
Yeah, Hollywood Rules. How you feeling about the grips? Did it work out for you? And to the point he was making, I think because Replace is like going for that cinematic look, like really, really like sticking to it. If you have a wide screen, like if your screen is 16:9, like generally 16:9, you benefit more. Hey, he says he did. He says he did.
It's amazing, right? Like for the ergonomics,
he loves them. Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling you, makes it feel like a Steam Deck. Like it gives you the real, like the BBL. I'm telling you.
Oh,
to
man,
me,
the BBL.
But it actually feels probably as comfortable, if not more comfortable than the Xbox Ally X. Like they really feel great.
That is bold words, Cotton. That's
it is true.
That is those are like the tip of the spears, as it were, right? People can say whatever they want about the Xbox Ally. One thing you cannot complain about is its ergonomics and its comfort. It sets the standard, so that's cool. All right. Actually, it's good that you reminded me. Let's divert a little bit because something happened in gaming that I actually wanted to bring to your attention. That y'all know that I like to play on the edge, and I enjoy some of these things. And I will never be the one to say that hey, you should buy into it. But I'll tell you that when the canary in the coal mine is happening, when things are heading closer and closer, I will talk to you about it. Everborn, remember when we had the conversation about the Steam frame, and I said that it was going to bring about some interesting stuff in that realm as well, okay. If you recall.
I do.
It seems like the shoe is about to drop, and the folks at what's the name of that company? Rocknix, if you recall, Rocknix. They're the ones going to bring it to us. Do you remember that Linux distro Rocknix that I showed you before?
I do not remember that part.
Okay, so Linux distro called Rocknix. What it is it's basically as you would imagine, just a standard Linux distro. So it looks like Linux operating system that it works on, right? And what specifically Rocknix tries to do is it's focused more on giving handheld x86 handhelds an alternative to Windows, right? So you may be a very small handheld, maybe small form factor. You don't have so much power. You're not like a Steam Deck or something. So Rocknix kind of gives you your device like second life. It really, really lets it shine. It does really interesting things as far as emulation, things like that. They've recently started working on devices that are ARM based, so x86 and now ARM 64, right? So devices like my Odin 2 Portal are able to run Rocknix, and now because of that, you can run emulation, maybe things like the Xbox emulation that you couldn't done in Android, stuff like that, right? Now, what they've done is, remember that we were talking about Valve working on bringing Steam to Android with FX, because they were putting that thing on the front end, on the face of the Steam frame, right? It will be on your device, right? So because of that, they're working to close the gap. Yeah, the people who do Rocknix took the bones of that and they put it in Rocknix. So now, through its very early days, but now you can literally run Steam, like proper, full-fledged, big picture, Everborn Saga, CEG approved Steam on Android, and play games.
Now, what are the limitations there in that, right? Like, there's certain things that you can't run on your Steam Deck because of anti-cheat or whatever else. What is it? Is this going to run everything on Steam, or does it everything that a Steam Deck can run, or is it still some Android incompatibility issues?
So there will definitely be Android incompatibility issues, because it is running on, because the way that Proton works, Proton has been trained to translate Windows code to Linux code, right? Now it has to translate Windows code to Linux on ARM code, right? So it's not like it's a starting point from scratch, right? There's a lot of work that's already been put into it. As I've showed you in the recent past, a lot of work has been done in the open source world to get all this done, and Valve does work to tap into it.
Think about how wild that is, though, right? You're doing Android to Linux to you're on Android, but you're doing a translation Android to Linux, then Linux to ARM, all the way back to Proton, which is translating to Windows.
It's like the world is nuts right now, what people are doing. And it's actually not bad. It runs pretty decently. I'm surprised.
I also find this interesting that it's all of that just to get back to Windows. Like, people don't like Windows.
Well, no. See, no. That's not what the point of this
I understand. The point of this
is not we're running Windows. No.
I'm saying you're running Windows games.
Yes, it's about freeing yourself from an operating system that may not run on a very thin and light device, right? And these thin and light devices have come so far that now, literally, in a Galaxy S24 Ultra, like your phone in your pocket, you can flip it to the side, put a controller in it, or put a telescopic controller and all of that, and it's just getting closer and closer to being turnkey, right? It definitely isn't still. By the way, I did play a little bit of it. I tried using it a little bit, and games like Bzzzt, games like Gigasword, even Replaced played a little bit. Like Replaced was at 40 frames or something like that, but the other ones played like 60 frames locked, perfect, like not an issue. So
I mean,
it's early days for it because it still has to work on the 3D games better than the 2Ds. But the fact that it runs as well as it does is surprising. And it's you would be like, oh yeah, this is it. This is exactly what I'm looking for. It looks like a mini Steam Deck. It's great.
We'll see about that. But the other thing that I do think is interesting and of note is that if we come back to the discussion we had about Apple's Neo, like the MacBook Neo, whatever, that is literally running the chip from the iPhone 16, not even the 17 that's currently out.
Yes,
right?
It is. Yep.
And so these ARM chips are getting powerful enough to run these full-fledged operating systems and then do the downstream things from there. And we know on the Windows side, we have the Elite X2 coming out. And so, it is a wave. I am interested to see what Windows on ARM gaming evolves into.
Yeah.
And if they keep pressing on with Xbox mode,
yeah,
and the Xbox mode plus Windows on ARM, I think they could have something. That would be nice. But all this is
pretty cool, bro. It's pretty cool. Again, not something that anybody and everybody should be doing. And if you follow the Fox, he's as excited as I am. We were geeking out about it on Twitter this morning. Like, I think he's going to drop a video on it as well pretty soon. The fact that this is where we are today is just wild, because a few years ago, you would not have imagined that interoperability was going to be even remotely possible. And now it's very close to being turnkey, right? So, as we're excited, give it 2-3 years, then you'll see somebody just build a device that just kind of does it automatically and you don't have to think about it. But these are the steps that get us there. So that is why we're.
So I do understand this, and there's a lot of, they use ARM chips in data centers a lot. What I'm talking about is the kind of ARM chips that are in your phone. And the fact that they are becoming powerful enough to run full-fledged desktop OSs is,
and it's not even running full-fledged OSs. They are running full-fledged OSs. They are then translating other OSs code to be able to run in their operating system while still having enough overhead to make that game still run at a normal clip. Pretty impressive. Like, pretty impressive. It really is. It's super impressive.
I know. Christopher's on your neck. He says ARM is very weak.
Yeah.
The games work like trash.
That is absolutely not true, Christopher. I hear you. And maybe that has been the experience in some, but I will tell you. And
I play Crimson Desert on it. It was like,
Oh yeah. I don't think you're getting Crimson Desert to run on that thing, bro. I think you should not even try that. If you were to try that, that's your problem. That is most likely the reason why you're having issues. But what I will do is, let's see, will this work? I have no idea. Let's see if I can get this to work. Anyway, but no, it is early days, and like I said, it's in the realm of 2D and stays in the realm of 2D so far. I haven't really pushed it to 3D. I don't think you should even try to push it to 3D. So I think that in that way, we're still early days. But as the software matures, bro, the games that Everborn Saga talks about week in and week out, like week on, week out, every single week, Everborn has something new to talk to you in on this show about awesome new game he's playing. None of those games are unplayable right now on this thing at a normal clip. And that's impressive. So
I am starting to see more of people with those kind of 2D games, though. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing if you check your app store for the 2D platformers now, you're gonna start to see a lot of things there that you would normally typically only see on Steam. And I'm saying running natively in iOS or Android.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now it's more of where you're choosing to put it rather than the hardware can handle it or not handle it.
Yeah, right? I remember the days on mobile where I'm working on the Arrows Adventure game. I'm doing it in Unity, and I do a build for iOS, and I'm using a gig of memory, and you couldn't do that back then because these things had 4 gigs, 6 gigs, right? They're up to 12 gigs now in the newer ones, back then that was just like resource hog.
And by the way, just so that everybody understands exactly what we are talking about here, like this thing has 16 gigs of RAM, right? That's what this is, right? This is the Odin 2 Portal, basically a Galaxy S24 Ultra chip with 16 gigs of RAM, and it runs all the games that you're seeing on your screen right now. It runs all of them. Loading times is slow as heck, right? There's a process by installing it natively on the drive, and I haven't done that, so I'm running it all on an SD card. So since you're running it on the SD card, it takes forever to load, and they'll tell you that, hey, click this thing and do this little. There's a way of transitioning it so that it loads it from the drive, then it'll run fast. But I like the ability of having all of my OSs on hand. I still have access to Android. I still have access to all the Rocknix original core, which also does really good emulation, in addition to Steam. So it's not ready. It really isn't. But for those who tinker and like to play, this is a new frontier that we're entering in, ladies and gentlemen. It's very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, there's that. But Everborn Saga, you were talking about what Xbox needs to do. So I guess it's time to transition into some more of that Xbox news. We've been talking about Xbox for the past couple of weeks. You would think we are an Xbox only show, but let's be frank, PlayStation, Nintendo don't bring up too much news, too much interesting, worthy conversation pieces. So we tend to gravitate towards Xbox. But this week, Asha Sharma there's a note that was released leaked rather, that speaks to her findings. So she dug into the Xbox crates, as it were. She's been given the job. Right now, she's doing some fact finding, and the leaked memo from her points to all the inadequacies that she points to within the organization that she thinks that needs to be corrected. At least this is the report that has come out. One of the main stories points being that she thinks that Xbox Gamepass is too expensive and needs a quote unquote better value equation. Everborn Saga, I'm sure you have been all over this. You've probably been on the Discord having conversations. What is your take on this in general? And I think this will probably dovetail into a convo about what do you think about her tenure so far?
So as I've been saying, when you see things like Helix and backwards compatibility announcements, and more than likely, I'm like 90% sure, FanFest returning and things like that, that was all in play before she came in, right? And so these are not things that you can just upend on day one, week one, or even year one. right? So, but what she can control, and what I do think she has been doing a bang up job so far of, is controlling the messaging and the narrative around the brand and platform, right? And so I've seen like sometimes controlled leaks. I have seen shutting down unnecessary like negative rumors before they spiral, which is something the previous leadership did not care to do. And their thinking was, you can't answer every troll online, so we just don't answer anything. And that is how narratives got away from them so many times, in my opinion. And we see, right? We see that when there was a rumor about Fable getting delayed, they shut that down before the workday started on Monday, right? And PlayStation has some bad news. We always say Xbox famously provides them cover by stepping on a rake, right? Whenever PlayStation has some bad news, PlayStation had some bad news, they announced some good news, right? And so from the Helix announcement to the Call of Duty announcement, right? There's a Call of Duty movie coming. They announced that. And then the internal assessment of things. I just think it looks like for the first time in a long while that the messaging is really starting to sound like it's coming from one place, from a cohesive whatever. And I think that was one of Xbox's biggest issues, and it is something that you can address in the short term. So I now onto this. I think she said the thing that I have been clamoring about for what seems like years now, that on the UI side, they have many different experiences and they're all built in different eras and they do not feel cohesive, right? And that is something that they need to fix. And the acknowledgement of even saying that, and a lot of people are saying she's fixed these things. These are things that are just acknowledgements. We'll have to see how they get fixed. So I think that's huge. Then the other thing about the sharing of technology and the victories being as a result of heroics and not systems, I think that can be a double-edged sword, because you don't want this sort of I don't know if this is this is a real word, but homogeneity, right?
Yeah, the homogenized technology.
Right? You don't want everything to look and feel the same. I think one of my biggest complaints with Sony since the PS4 days is a lot of this stuff feels samey, right? So we don't. And
didn't people complain a lot? People complained a lot when Ubisoft started sharing their tools like writ large across. Right. They started making games look very samey as far as UI, UX, and menu systems and things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want that. I don't want all I think with the depth and breadth of studios and publishers that all fall under this umbrella, some diversity is good. Now, knowledge sharing is always great. Like back end things, absolutely, and I do think that that's good. But I just don't want to see that in the kind of games they make, or the as you said, the UIs and things like that. So, I do think that these acknowledgments are good, because you have to look at something with fresh eyes. We work in corporate or whatever. Sometimes when you look at different things and you've been in a company for a long time, why things exist, because why they started, and you knew that different management came in and they were changing initiatives at the time, and then you still have this thing running, but people use it, so you don't want to mess it up, and then you go to the new things. And in a lot of tech work, it's a patchwork, right? And so when you've been in a company a long time, you can see that and understand it and accept it, because you were there in the different era was when they built the things. But when you come in with new eyes, you can see, hey, this actually doesn't make sense, and we're only doing it because we've already always been doing it. That doesn't mean it makes sense, right? And so I think having someone with fresh eyes, not attached to all of it, making a a hard assessment of it like this is a great starting point. We got to see where it goes from there.
So, and I by and large agree with your take on this, that a lot of the groundwork, because this stuff, it doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of work that has to happen. A lot of the groundwork has been laid. So she's just shepherding a lot of, she's now in charge of shepherding a lot of the stuff that fundamentally was built before she got there. But I do agree with you also that now that she's here, she does have some kind of influence on how the ship is steered and where it goes and all of that, right? I've been watching podcasts and spending time reading Twitter posts, which we all know I should not be doing that. I shouldn't be doing times reading Twitter posts sometimes, but you got to do it. Sometimes you got to keep the ears to the streets. But there's been a lot of back and forth about that, about what should be attributed to her and what shouldn't be attributed to her, and what where her influence lies versus where the existing environment is, and how much agency she has in her role versus what is just her delivering the message from up above, all of that, right? Where do you think that is? I heard I was listening to a very interesting back and forth about what people were thinking about how they think she should navigate the media, for example, as the whole quote unquote Xbox tax and all of that stuff. What do you think? Is that something, in your opinion, she has control over, or is this something that just can't be done by her?
So honestly, I don't think it. I think if she took a role that was more like a Strauss Zelnick, it would be better in terms of dealing with that stuff. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? I'm talking to CNBC, right? I'm talking to Bloomberg. I may come down and do an interview every now and again, but I'm focused on the business and empowering the peoples that need to do the thing, right? I'm fighting the fight with the board. I'm doing those things. And so I don't need to be a front man, right?
But everyone, doesn't it seem like her anointment, and I wonder if that's a word, was more a play on the community? Like, hey, look at us. We've heard you. Now we're taking action because we've heard you. If she stops speaking to those communities, wouldn't that then counteract the message they're trying to deliver?
I'm not saying the whole company should stop. I'm saying she doesn't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think
if they put her in, if they put her in position to be like, hey, we're hearing you and we're quote unquote bringing Xbox back, but then she's never talking to any of the people anymore.
I don't think the CEO needs to talk to those people, right? You can leave that to the other people. You can make sure that you have an outreach group, right? You can make sure that the different studios have community managers that are actually doing their jobs. You can still do the fan fest, right? But she, as the top person, doesn't need to do that.
Yes,
I think she needs to.
I agree.
I think she needs to be focusing on making it easier and clearing the pathways. Because this is another thing at Microsoft. A lot of it is not just know-how. A big part at Microsoft is networking and pushing through the mountain of people that are paid to tell you no when you want to do the right thing. So, and here's something that interesting that I never thought about, right? Everybody talks about she was at Meta and she was doing AI when she came back to Microsoft before she took this role. Nobody talks about Instacart. And
Boom has talked about Instacart. I've heard him talking about
because the Instacart thing to me is interesting. When we talk about the issues with the Windows Store and the Xbox Store and the features that it doesn't have, and getting it to a place that makes it easy and you're not fighting customers who want to give you their money, as our good buddy Lucius Augustus said, isn't somebody from Instacart the perfect person to do something like that? To give your store experience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She has been put in position to make the proper change. So the question now that I hear in the community a lot back and forth is like, where is the change being attributed to her versus now? I will say though, and this is I would say it's a positive change. Have you seen that the Xbox marketing, at least on social, is different? It's not what it used to be.
I haven't been on social, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. So like I will say, just in broad strokes, the energy is a little different now. They're very much brand forward, more than they used to be, a bit, I think. So maybe that is part of more of the different way they're trying to move. But yeah, I know some people want to give her smoke. I know some people want to like throw a lot of flowers at her already. I'm just wondering where the line is, and I think it's still early days. And I appreciate the some of the spots where I know she's having influence, which is the message delivery and the aggressive nature by which they're communicating with the consumer base now. All that stuff looks very positive in the direction. I don't have to agree with it or disagree with it. I just have to look at the consumer base that we talk to on a daily, and you can see that they appreciate what's happening. So, hey, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in June, actually, because I expected there'd be more in that conversation as well. Continuing along the line of Xbox and what they're talking about. Did you see this Matt Booty interview recently?
I did. And
what'd you think of it?
Again, there's some of us in the community that give Matt Booty a lot of smoke, but he has said all the right things in that interview, right?
Yes, he has. Yep.
And the idea that like this was one of the bigger things. I mean, this is before everybody knew that the rug was going to get pulled on exclusives. But the big thing is, the collaboration between the studios. You have all these different things. And when he says that Blizzard is helping with the cinematics for Fable, my God, right? And then he talks about how Compulsion is doing mocap at one of the Infinity Wards or Activision studios.
Yeah.
Now, what does that tell you? Because what mocap are they doing if they already shipped?
Well, obviously that tells you that they're making another game. Obviously, yes.
And then you talk about how the sharing between and this is probably old, obviously, Flight Sim and Minecraft, but more importantly, you've got Obsidian and Undead Labs, like sort of an Ouroboros kind of thing where, hey, Undead Labs, here's how you do a shared world. All right, Obsidian, here's how you do a persistent shared world. State of Decay 3, you know what I'm saying? So all those things is what you want to see, and you only think how far it could go. Now, what we need to see next is what you talked about, which is and we're seeing it a little bit when you see Doom Guy in Diablo. When are we going to get that Master Chief Doom Guy crossover? By the way, I just want to point this out. So my wife was put on to Superman and Lois by TikTok, and now she wants to watch it. And we watched the first couple episodes last night. Why does that future guy, Commander Luthor, why is he wearing a Doom Guy suit? Was this not a thing back in? Anyway, whatever. But so the cross collab between
and Superman and Lewis, by the way, not a bad show. Continue. Not a bad show.
4W.
Not a bad show. Not a bad show. Continue.
No, but all of this is what you want to hear, and that and fostering a culture that allows that is precisely what his job is to do.
Yeah.
So you love to
like
see.
Look, absolutely, right? Absolutely. The cross-pollination is what you want to hear. It's really cool. It sounds awesome, right? To your point. And I've been wanting to hear this stuff, right? All this studio using this person, their resources, that this team helping that team. Excellent. I think it's awesome. But again, like we're going back to, I would have loved to see the cross-pollination happen on the front end as well. We're still waiting for that. And like I would imagine that'd be easy to do if you guys are cross-pollinating on the back end, right? You know, put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, put a little bit of salt, a little bit of peanut butter in my jelly, you know, it will work. And I think the gamers and the IP lovers who love these IPs really like they do will really appreciate like the idea that they're doing this kind of stuff, right? So I hope this is what it leads to. Rare sharing multiplayer experience with Sea of Thieves for Kiln and all that. That's really cool. But that also means put some freaking Sea of Thieves loot in Kiln. Like put some like actual assets in Kiln. So when you're playing it, you see it and it kind of gives you kind of that combination, right? It's a very interesting thing. The Great Tide Talks is in the house. He says everything Matt is saying sounds good, but it really doesn't matter if all it does is take some of these games from a 6 to a 7, or if a niche game just gets better graphics, it's still a niche game.
I mean, we do also have to be fair that you know, if you're looking at their output in the aggregate, they are shipped. Like obviously there were outliers like Redfall, but what they've shipped in the last multiple years have been 80 and above games, between 80 and 90 games, right? And they shipped more 80 and 90 games that than Sony has shipped this generation. But again, the next thing is going to be, did those things move the needle? And move the needle is not really, it's like a nebulous term. So I don't know how much value it is to go back and forth on that. But I think because they ship so many games, it becomes easier to lose sight that they're actually being well received.
See, and it's not just they ship so many games. I think they ship so many diverse games that it clouds people's minds on what they're receiving, because you can point to a game that and go, oh, you know, this is not the type of game that I expected them to release. Kiln being an example, right? But these are also the same ones that are releasing COD and are releasing Doom and all of that, right? But because because Xbox has that diversity on their side, it seems like it gives people the ability to use that as narrative peddling.
Yeah, and this is not what Tay is saying, but like,
no, absolutely
I think the thing that they don't do is ship things like Ragnarok or Spider-Man, and I think because they don't do that, people miss the other things that they do ship that are high quality. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with you. And these are the things that I think, like other areas where Asha, I suspect, would have some influence.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah. So what else do we have this week? Because Dorian Gray did bring up something, and I shared it in the news part of the Discord. Okay. I don't have a lot of facts on it, but I do. We can talk about it next week. The Stop Killing Games group had a court thing, and it was live streamed. So maybe that's something we can bring up next week.
So this is a game a group that would what?
No. Force. We had a big debate about this here. What to do with games when they're no longer
exactly? Yes. Like a watchdog group that forces companies to do right by games that are being abandoned.
Like you have to offer an offline mode kind of thing.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. Thank you for bringing that up, Dorian. We will. I see the video on it here. I will do a little bit of digging, and we may talk about that next week. That's cool. Interesting. See, there needs to be more in this world in that way. I know you're not quite a fan of it, but I don't know. I feel like we need that. We need that in gaming. Anyway, I also wanted to quickly touch on the fact that Tom Henderson, great Tom Henderson from from Insider Gaming in a recent podcast was reported as talking about some games that are coming out from Ubisoft. I'll actually just put a little bit real quick. Let's just show. Here we go. Hazardor, I think, reported it. Hold on. There you go. Yeah. Far Cry, Rayman remake, Splinter Cell remake is delayed till 2027, right? And then of course Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync is literally like supposedly less than a few months away. I guess the TLDR of it is the thought of Ubisoft, the ideas that they were basically all but done has been exaggerated. They're still trying to stay relevant. Does any of this speak to you? Have you been still waiting for the Splinter Cell remake?
I have, and I don't want to hear anything from Ubisoft until it comes out. So I don't care about this. I don't care about all this other stuff. Ship a game that's not Assassin's Creed.
I mean, they've shipped games. What game did they ship recently that was not Assassin's Creed? Okay, well, the qualifier of not Assassin's Creed. They did ship was it DLC? No. They shipped an update. An update to
is what you're going with.
No, listen. This is an update to Avatar.
Yeah.
Right?
A nice update.
And turn it third person, right?
Yeah. That's it. We got a new camera angle. Is what they shipped outside of
Come on, bro. You gotta get cut some slack.
No, I don't. I don't have to cut them anything.
Damn. All right. Okay, well, then let's talk about the other story that I wanted to chat with you about, which is that it seems that Take-Two just can't catch a break. They keep downplaying
all the breaks in November when this thing comes out, but we'll see
but that's the thing, right? They keep downplaying it, but it looks like they have been hacked again. And the hacker group is once again trying to breach the data. They're trying to put data out there. They've come out, and I've seen some of the reports of them coming of Take-Two and Rockstar coming out saying, "Look, none of this stuff is really important. We'll be fine." Blah blah blah, all of that. But I guess my question is, how much are we going to trust this thing? It keeps getting breached. They keep getting breached. The product hasn't come out and it's already been breached twice. Well, and I know who I'm asking about this because you're a person who doesn't really care about GTA that way, but isn't this a very risky proposition for a company who basically has bet the entire company on this one product?
It is, but it is also probably the most sought after gaming product in the last decade. So there's that much interest on it. You're gonna have that many attempts to breach whatever protocols they have in place. So I'm not surprised. They're going to be a target. It's all eyes on them, right? So I think until this thing releases and after, we'll probably hear about more of this. I will not be surprised if the game itself leaks before the street date.
Oh, bro, that would suck.
People gonna buy it anyway. They'll be all right.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will buy it, but it is.
They can wipe their tears with the $100 bills.
Okay. GTA's coming. Well, okay. So first off, will you buy it? Will you play it?
Nope. Not till it comes to PC.
So when it comes to PC, you'll buy it and play it. So why is it that you're ready and willing to try GTA 6 on PC but not 5?
The statute of limitations is passed. I don't need to go back.
Come on. That game is still today more technically sound than many.
Do you remember the first 45 minutes of this show when we spent me talking about all of these games that I purchased and didn't play, and I still want to play Crimson Desert and don't have time to get back to that, and you telling me to play a game from 2013 that I never cared about?
Bro, you played games from 2013 all the time?
Yeah, but those are the ones I like. The point is, no chance. There's not enough time in the day.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right. If you're gonna be that way, then I have to ask, how much do you think this game will cost?
I think it'll be. I think it'll be $80.
Do you think they will be bold enough
to charge
80? Going for $80? Yeah.
If Mario Kart can charge 80, they can charge 80.
Well, but Mario Kart quickly turned its back and undid all of that, right? Like a week after, you saw it for like $60 or $40 rather on Woot.com. Like it was
yeah,
quick.
But that's Woot.com, and that's not where most people are going to buy it, right?
That was Amazon, man. That's Amazon.
Yeah, that's fine, but people are going to buy it from the eShop or from it's $80. And it's going to be $80. I don't think it's going to be $100, and I think people should stop.
Damn, base game $100. That is wild, man. Jago6, I hope you are wrong, and if you are right, I'll be sad for it. It is what it is. I will not. Well, there is already a bet going, and I will. I'm standing on business. If that game is $80, I am not buying. If it's $79.99 or more, I am not buying it. I will buy it when it's cheaper. I'm not going to continue to allow them to have that bad behavior and me give them my hard-earned dollary dues. That's not how that's going to work.
Well, here's something that may be a check on the price. They know that a lot of people are going to also have to buy new hardware to play it. So do you want them to have to buy new hardware and spend $80?
Yeah. $100? Okay. But they know that they're not getting any of that hardware money, so who cares whether they have to spend $80 or $100?
Yeah, but if the hardware is a barrier for them spending this money, they might see the total price and be,
Yeah. All right. Well. See. I initially thought that Rockstar getting hacked and that game being the only game for the next 10 years that they're banking all their, well, not all, but most of their financial success on, and now more hacks and more. I know that'd be a tumultuous thing, but it seems like everybody's like, well, it'll be all right. They'll be fine.
Nobody cares. They're going to play it anyway.
Yeah.
And most people that I know, even if the whole story did leak, they wouldn't want to know because they don't want to
play it anyway. Yeah, they'd play it anyway. You're right. Okay. Well, all right. So before
employees, personal data or customers' credit card data and stuff like that is not in the leak. But people finding out, like, who cares?
Yep. The hack also did reveal that Rockstar earns over $1 million a day from GTA Online.
You also got some breakdowns from like platform specific breakdowns from that, didn't it?
Let me check. I think it may have, and that was the Kotaku one. I thought. I think the Kotaku one may have showed that they had breakdowns in platforms. Let's see. Yeah, it shows revenue changes and all that. Let me put this on the screen. Is this what you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. So it shows you the weekly revenues. It shows you the daily revenues. It shows you the breakdown by console. Yeah. So what you thinking?
No, it's just weird that they had Series X but not S, unless that's a combined number.
Yeah, I would think X and S is probably a combined number.
Yeah.
Right. Just like the Xbox One, there were many pieces of the Xbox One, but they just call it the Xbox One, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. So across PS4 and PS5, you got about 5 million and some change a week. And across Xbox One and Series, you got about 2 million and some change.
Yeah.
Which tracks.
Yeah. It aligns, right? It aligns. But yeah, I think this is going to be another one of those momentous occasions. I just don't know if this will have the same tail that the GTA 5 did, just because the world is just so different than that. The world that GTA 5 landed into is so different than the world that GTA 6 is landing into. I'm just super interested to see how it shakes out. Anyway, let's move on. Everborn Saga, did you see this Metro 2039 review?
I did see it. This looks it reminds me of Stalker. I know it's different. But this is more like action focused than Stalker, right?
Yeah. Well, so as I understand it, the Stalker team and this team used to be one team, and they split, and they're like each are doing their own thing, but they kind of like originate from the same base. So that's why they all tend to have the same, I wouldn't say it's the same, but similar dour kind of energies, graphic style kind of thing. You can definitely see the lineage.
Yeah, I mean the guy was a little bit too. I know they're like, their country's going through a war right now, or whatever. But the guy doing the talking, I'm like, are you putting on a tough guy voice? Like what? But no, it looks super cool. The cinematic, and then even the gameplay that we got. I don't know how much of that was real gameplay. But if that's what it looks like and plays like, I'm here for it. But again, I've never played a Metro game, so you're gonna have to tell me how different that looked than what is, in...
Oh no, it is a very Metro style energy to it. Like it looks very similar. It's just, I mean, as you can see on the screen here, graphically,
I don't know what Metro style is because I've never played a Metro game, is what I'm saying.
So Metro style games tend to be a little more simulation heavy. They tend to be more dour. They tend to be more post-apocalyptic. Limited resources, limited bullets. It's very This World of Mine, if you've ever played that, which has like people in war talking about heavy, like how they live their lives and how they're able to make it through in between the moments of action, right? Like you're in the trenches, maybe you're in a secure place, and you're just listening to people talk about their day. Things like it's very, very, very deep and sometimes a little sour. It's very, at least that was Metro anyway. Yes, Wade Johnson continued to stay on his neck. He said, arrest this man. Never played Metro. He's never played GTA 5, man. He has never played GTA 5, and he refuses to.
But see, I missed Metro. I would try that. Me not playing GTA 5 was a deliberate choice, for the record.
Why would you deliberately choose not to play GTA 5?
I don't care.
Let's talk about that.
No, we've talked about it many times. I think it insists upon itself. We can leave it at that.
It insists upon itself like you do.
What can I say?
Okay. Anyway. So these graphics, it made me have
what graphics, the cinematics. Like what did we get for
let me show you
graphics?
this. Let me that was probably be towards the end, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. So even though, and this is not real, was it here? No, I think it was a little further. Yeah, this is what it was. It says real time. It shows you from right here. Even though, like you said, it's very small as far as what they showed us in graphical, what we're going to play and all of that, right? What do you think to the idea? And I've heard this on social. I think it's ridiculous, but I'm bringing it up anyway. Here you go. See, capture from gameplay and real time cinematics. So here's that. What do you think of people saying, see, this is how you show the next iteration of this? Where is the likes of what's that zombie game that Microsoft made that they showed there?
This all got nothing to do with State of Decay 3. Like I'm tired of people who don't play State of Decay talking about what State of Decay should have showed. Right? Yeah. The people who actually played State of Decay, Pixelbit G, Nerds is playing it right now. Those people, I want to hear what they think about what they saw. If not, like if you want it to be like if you just playing State of Decay because you want it to be Last of Us, go play Last of Us. Let the people who understand the systems of that game tell us what they think about it. If you didn't play 2, I'm not interested in your opinion. Please and thanks.
Damn, cold-blooded. Let's talk about that also for a minute. What do you think of Logo Gate?
Oh my God!
Shout out to Silent Cypher. Logo gate. People still. Where's Vandal? Bring Vandal to the further congregation. He is still mad to this very moment.
Oh my God! I do not want to go over this again. The logo things. I'm sorry. You guys might not want to hear this.
This was a Microsoft
Paris
show.
is right. I hope Paris is not in the chat. The logo thing.
It was a Microsoft show. Why do they have to put logos on a Microsoft show? Ah.
And I only said Paris is right because at the end of the last show, he acknowledged the truth that Sonic is great. Don't think I forgot. Now, the logos, look, at the end of the day, people, the logos mean less than I think we're giving them credit for. I understand that other people don't show those logos, right? But at the end of the day, other people are not in third place, and other people are not struggling to get people to reveal their games on their showcase.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Black Skeleton.
Yeah, I get it. I don't doubt. Like, yeah, I need to see more. Right.
That's right.
But again, so for me with the logos, what you have to understand is one, a lot of these things are planned in months in advance, and it could have been the old regime's decision to show the logos, and these deals are already agreed to, so you got to show them now, whether it's a change or not. Now that's scenario one, meaning maybe the new leadership wants to change that. Now, scenario two is, do we really think that someone who does not game on Xbox is going to see this thing, and if there's no PlayStation logo there, they're not going to notice, they're not going to go check before they spend $600 to go buy an Xbox that this is also on the platform that they already have? That's not really a thing. And when you are third place, right, even as an indie dev, someone may not want to say, you know, I'm gonna give people the impression that the game is only on this small platform, right? So if you want me to show it here, I got to show that it's available everywhere. And we could say Hogwarts Legacy, but again, Hogwarts Legacy would not do that for Xbox, right? And we're comparing apples to oranges. It's different when you are the number one platform out there, right? You can do that. People will do that with you. They're not going to do that and let people think that the game is not on PlayStation where they need to sell it.
So and the man wants to speak on it. Oh, before we go here, Black Skeleton quickly says that Pragmata is amazing, and he hopes we try it. It is on the list. I will definitely be trying it. I'll be trying it. Eastside says, what is what benefit is it to Xbox if they show that you can buy the game and it's advertised on PS5? What benefits to Xbox? Ridiculous. # no logos. So let's talk about that for just a little bit. Let's talk about this just a little bit. Look, we've had this conversation, and I love my brother Eastside Vandal. He is the console warrior, non-console warrior. So we're going to address it. We're going to do this. Right? Shout out to Vandal. Honestly, when I saw this, the only thing I thought was, this is Microsoft trying to make sure that their shows are what everyone watches. This is them transitioning from being a platform show where only Xbox people watch to a show that everyone watches. Every time they have a show, they put all the logos on it, right? This, to me, right, some of the heavy hitters you see here, and you saw in their previous show that also had logos. I suspect had you not seen that, you would have seen those trailers at Summer Game Fest, and they would have had those logos there. Right. So to me, that seems to me like when they're in the negotiation table some time back, which Everborn is right about, that they didn't have that negotiation last week. They had that negotiation most likely last like 7-8 months ago or whatever. Right. And at that time, those logos were the difference with going either early to the to your show or the Keeleys, and they want everyone to watch every show they do now.
Yeah. So one thing I just want to answer Slow-Mo really quick here. In the past, they also didn't get as many games to come up at their showcases, which gave the platform this stagnant thing of Xbox has no games. Now they want to be able to show that they have the best games there, and so maybe they don't get it at the show. I just think they're in a different position now, to where people can ignore them. Even indie devs can ignore them, right? Absalom, a fantastic game. They couldn't even release on Xbox at launch because they didn't have time to get to it. So we can't say that they're in the same position as everybody else. And so what everybody's talking about is what is best for the platform. And I don't think they're thinking about what the developers and publishers might be thinking is best for themselves, right? And so that is, I think, a part of it. And again, I understand that it doesn't look great that the other guys still do that. But I also say that I don't think that people who don't see a logo on a show are not going to at least check before they spend and buy another thing. You know what I mean?
So, Lucius, can you hear us, sir? Your normal Koofy Cat logo is not on.
Yeah, you got to get it. We need the Koofy Cat here before.
I'll figure out a thing. Unfortunately,
welcome, sir.
Crimson Desert took me yet again last night, and and I couldn't stop.
I hear you, sir. I hear you. Welcome. What say you? What are you here to discuss? I know you had something to get off your chest.
Yeah. So let me first address the conversation that's happening right now, right? Because we spoke about, and I wanted to make sure that Everborn has his eloquent point that he puts out, and that's fine. But let me.
You might want to get a little closer to the mic, just a little closer.
Okay, yeah. Let me advocate for the people. All right. So here's the thing.
Before you start, Lucius, and chat, I promise you, this will be the last time we discuss these goddamn logos.
Probably.
Do your worst, Lucius.
Okay, I'll do my best. All right, so, gentlemen, please stop me if I'm incorrect at any point. The point of a third-party showcase is to show both the people who are inside of your ecosystem and might be interested in your ecosystem, hey, here are the games that are coming to our ecosystem. And the reason why you do that is because you want them to buy those games in your ecosystem. There's a financial reason why you're doing this. So, and we've had these arguments and we've had the back and forth and everything. But at the end of the day, I kind of question if the objective of a third-party showcase is to get people to be able to buy games on your platform. How does it financially benefit you to be able to have those people show up, see that they can buy this game in a different avenue, and then do that? When they buy the game on Switch or buy the game on PlayStation, how are you, Xbox, winning?
Oh, we lost him. He's back.
I'm back.
Apologies. Yeah, you're back. I don't know what happened. Apologies. Continue.
I don't know what happened.
Winning. We heard winning. Say again.
Oh, yeah. So how is Xbox winning? How are they making money? How is it that they're benefiting off of this situation? When, once again, the point of a third-party showcase is to get people to see, oh, I can buy X and X on Xbox, right? And thus, the thought process is, because I know it's coming to this platform, I'm going to buy it on the platform. And obviously, this example is going to be very different than small indie games that we saw. But I use the example of Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, a big IP. Obviously, a big game. So very different from some of the smaller games that we saw. But in reality, when a lot of people, not hardcore people like us, not people who would typically look to see if it's coming to Xbox anyway, just normal people normal people watch the Hogwarts Legacy state of play. And because it only had the PlayStation logo, and the way that they had the PlayStation logo there right next to the exclusive mission that they had, it led to a lot of people to believe that it was exclusive. I initially thought it was exclusive. Of course, I did my gamer due diligence and looked it up. So I was coming to Xbox, didn't worry about it, right? But at the end of the day, a significant amount of people did think that it was exclusive, and they didn't do the necessary research, and they did go and buy a PlayStation. Now, obviously, these trickster tactics I'm not the biggest fan of, right? But these are the things.
And we know sorry, I'm so sorry. These were Xbox customers that went and bought a PlayStation instead.
According to our brother Forte, who has kind of a closer view of this, as he is a manager of an entire location of GameStop. So not just one GameStop, but multiple GameStops. And when Hogwarts Legacy came out, he said, and we can pull him in at some point, but like he said himself, he was incredibly surprised at how many people thought that Hogwarts Legacy was exclusive. And it's not to say that I'm like advocating for these.
So Lucius, let me ask a question real quick, because of the way you're framing this, right? And you are right to frame it in that the casuals watch that show, right? PlayStation has earned the right and has worked hard enough to where when they put a show together, a lot of people watch, right? And because they know that, they can do some of these trickster practices that you recall, right? That you say you don't necessarily agree with, but it's part of the business, right?
It helps them be successful. Yes.
Can't you then see that the logos being put on these games now, right, in the Xbox show, is Microsoft trying to get people a lot of eyeballs to watch? And while you watch it, right, not just the console, not just a person who's Xbox person, because now the more and more they do this, the more now when you hear an Xbox show, you'll treat it like a Keighley show, because there's a lot of content, whether it's for that content, the platform you play or not, you will know where all those things are. But the thing you're asking, what does it benefit you? I see the benefit being you're there. Yes, you're seeing it's playable everywhere, but they're also telling you it's day one on Game Pass. They're also telling you it's play anywhere. They're also telling you, right? They're also like, you didn't even know about any of those initiatives before. You just kept playing in your ecosystem. But because they've done this to bring more eyes to this event, now you are here to hear that in addition to where it is, which you now know, you also know that it also is free in this, well, not free, but part of the subscription service, or they have this dual entitlement thing, which I think is where they're going to try and, claw more of those people in like you want. Is that not the case?
So I think that I honestly, I don't know. I know that we spoke about this a couple of days ago about like it brings more people into the mind space of always thinking about Xbox showcases, but I still don't see in the long term where that leads to people actually buying third-party games on Xbox, right? Because once again, we're talking about the casuals, right? And the casuals typically don't buy a lot of premium games. The games that casuals play the most are service games. So, and the thing that third-party showcases are typically for are like premium experiences, either $70 games or like indie games that are going to be $20-$30, that sort of thing. Not that many casuals buy that many games per year, right? So and this is like one of the things that I want to say about this is that this is not the normal console war-y stupid logo conversation. This is a nuanced conversation about what the point of a third-party showcase is, why Xbox would do this in comparison to something else, and like what's their overall objective, because at the end of the day they're here to make money, right? And the question is, how does this make them make money both in the short and long term, and does it impact their like, does it impact people's perception of them in a negative way? A lot of the things that Microsoft, Phil Spencer, and we love Phil over here, Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, but we love the guy. But at the end of the day, a lot of his plans of like trying to be like a little more kumbaya with the media, with PlayStation, well, it did not work, right? It did not get like the sort of players that buy 5, 6, 10, 15 games a year. It did not really bring those people in. And those are the people that you kind of want to bring in. Not, I wouldn't call them like casuals or hardcore, but like the people in between who buy a couple games. Those are the people who are going to be buying the third party games, right? If you're not bringing those people in and you're pushing out people like me who buy 10, 15 games a year, and you're pulling in all these casuals, are those casuals buying the premium games that the Capcoms and the Segas and the Square Enixes, who just started bringing a lot of their games to your platform, do you attract the type of customers that will buy the games that you need to keep your third-party relationships intact? Right? Like, shout out to Aaron who tried to analyze me because I was talking about this a couple of days ago. He's like, why do you care so much? And I'm like, bro, it's just a conversation that we're having.
This is the thing, right? I keep coming back to this thing. Lucius and Slow-Mo and all of the logo people. And again, I am not saying
logo person. I am not a logo person.
You guys are sticking really hard on this logo thing. But anyway, the point is, I want you to you're telling me this story from the perspective of Xbox, right? Cool. Now, I want you to tell me this story from the perspective of a developer or a publisher. Why should I show my game on an Xbox showcase and give people the impression that it is not coming to these other places? Why should I do that?
So this is something that we had a back and forth of, and I saw your point to some extent, but I still don't fully agree because it gets back to how does it help?
No. Don't tell me about Xbox. Don't tell me about Xbox. I'm saying tell me about the studio, and then we'll come back to Xbox.
I'm not relax, right? It's not just about bringing the game to your showcase. It's about bringing the game to your platform, right? I have to decide to bring it to your platform first before we even have a conversation about showing it in a showcase. And if you don't have the type of customers that are going to buy premium products day one, because a lot of those people have been pushed away to PC and they're buying on Steam, and the people that you're attracting are casuals who don't typically buy those sort of games. They buy like they play free-to-play live service games a lot. Or if I'm a Capcom, if I'm a Sony, if I'm a Capcom, if I'm a Square, if I'm a Sega, right? We first get to a situation of, do you have the customer base needed for me to be able to sell anything on your platform? So even if let's say I show my thing on your stage. If I show my thing on your stage and the amount of people that you're attracting doesn't really buy my game, sure, you did some advertisement for me, and people on PlayStation, if they saw your show, will buy my game, and that's great. But I also had to put in a large amount of effort to be able to put this thing on your platform. And the people on that platform no longer are buying premium games. This is not the case right now, right? This is me saying, if Xbox continues to do what they do, which is pushing some of the more premium people out by pushing us towards PC, which they've been doing for the past couple of years, and that's kind of worked against them because now we're all buying our games on Steam, and the people that they're attracting are primarily casuals, which don't really buy games. How does that help the Capcoms, the Segas, the Square Enixes of the world? Maybe it might help indies that have cheaper games and be like, oh, like this is like a $20 game. I might get it, blah, 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 right? But how does it help the larger publishers when the objective is to sell the product, and you have to you have to get a certain amount of people inside of your ecosystem who will do that in the first place?
What say you, everyone?
he's once again coming back to the platform. I'm saying as an individual product that you have to sell. Why should I show it on Xbox's stage if they right now, I'm not talking about in the 360 days. I'm not talking about in the Xbox One days. I am saying I am John Q developer. You name a game that's getting ready to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I want to give the customers the impression that it is only coming to Xbox the first time I show it? Why shouldn't I show it on my own, on a bigger platform like PlayStation or Nintendo, or at the Keeleys? Why should I show it on the Xbox?
Where all three of those places typically won't let you show all the logos anyway? Is it only because
here's the thing.
Has such low value that
I mean, currently it might. Currently it might, yes. So again, what the argument that you keep coming back to is, how does this help Xbox, right? And I understand that. And my position is that, is it at all? I'm just asking you to entertain the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to tell me where things used to be and how they were always done.
Okay.
I'm only saying, you are a developer. Make the argument for me. If you're making this game, why are you only showing it on Xbox unless you have a marketing deal with them?
Yeah, typically it's like a marketing deal, Game Pass deal, something that helps you kind of lubricate the whatever. And same thing with PlayStation. PlayStation isn't showing these games for like altruistic purposes. There are marketing deals typically associated with these things. There are additional like funding that might be associated with these as well. Not like a Game Pass deal or anything, but like marketing, like PlayStation counts it putting you in their showcase as marketing, and it has a dollar value for that, right? So obviously, we understand that the Xbox is the ecosystem that has the least amount of people. So I could see your argument. If I'm a third-party dev, why would I want to put it on the Xbox showcase if, once again, if casuals are really as dumb as we say that they are, and they see that there's only one logo, and they're going to be like, well, I guess it's only there, which is kind of the case, because if you remember Metaphor ReFantazio, that primarily had an Xbox marketing. It didn't have any other logos on there. I loved it, but great game, by the way. But as somebody who is inside of that JRPG space, a lot of JRPG fans.
Lucius, I'm so sorry. Just so sorry. Hey, Kay, Paris asked for a shield. You got to get this man a shield.
The shield is a shield.
The link. Get this man a shield. He asked for a link. He wants.
I get it. I get it, but he already has a link. It's the same link we always use.
You get the joke, man. Get this man a shield.
I got the guy. Good.
Right. But yeah, like I think that's kind of where it all lies, where if the third party doesn't see the value, and once again, this is based off of the idea that a lot of casual consumers, when they are watching these shows, they take them for face value a lot of the times. Sure, some people do their research. I'm not saying everybody just sees that it's a PlayStation exclusive and is like, oh, I guess, or whatever. But like, this was a part of the conversation with Metaphor ReFantazio, where JRPG fans were like, they're trying to make it seem like it's only coming to Xbox when it's coming elsewhere. And I'm like, isn't it interesting how people are mad when Xbox is doing this thing, but PlayStation does it and nobody has any problem, right? And people were advocating that Metaphor ReFantazio was going to sell worse because it had Xbox marketing in comparison to PlayStation marketing. Turns out Metaphor ReFantazio sold pretty well. They sold like 1 to 2 million the first week, and got to 3 or 4 million within a few weeks, months after that. And this is a brand new IP. Sure, it's come from the people who made Persona, but it's a brand new IP. You can't assume.
And it's a turn-based RPG.
And a turn-based RPG. So it's not like the amount that it's going to sell is really capped based off of the popularity of the genre. And the fact that it sold 1 to 2 million the first few weeks is fantastic for a new IP. So I don't really see the huge negative more than anything. But once again, this is a conversation about casuals, right? None of us in this room are casuals, and so it's very hard for us to be able to have this nuanced conversation, right? And
welcome to the
And
great
why are we
Good
having the
morning. Good morning.
conversation for the Phantom Casual?
but I think the reason why we're having the conversation for the Phantom Casual is because we recognize that they have a lot of sway in the industry as a totality, not as individual people. They are not informed enough for that. But when the casual decided,
I just don't like that. I don't.
Can I interrupt? Can I interrupt? I just want to say,
I just don't know. We always think we know more than the casuals. People know what they're spending their money on. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to say this one thing, and I'll drop back down. I'm talking to you on my phone. So with the logo conversation, I like to ask questions, and I will say up front, it doesn't bother me either way because I feel I'm an adult and I'm intelligent enough to make my own decisions. So seeing a logo of something on where it's available isn't going to sway me on what platform I prefer to play. I want to say that up front. But I ask questions. I like to ask people that can give me answers to certain things. And what I was told is Xbox would look, again, I'm paraphrasing a lot, but essentially Xbox would look very hypocritical telling one of their third-party partners that we're not going to show every platform that game is available when they do it for their own first-party titles. So that's one. The second part is,
that's some Pete Hines bullshit. Okay,
but
sorry.
But the second part to this is they make if you notice, every third-party partner they showcase this way, right? They've already made a deal with them that at a minimum it's on Play Anywhere, and in some instances it's on Game Pass too. Yep. So it's a symbiotic relationship in that way. I understand people in the community. I see all the passion. People get mad at me because I just don't care. I get it. But this isn't harming you. It's not. Everyone in this chat that's saying, hey, they shouldn't be doing this, you're going to buy it on Xbox anyways, regardless of what logo they show. But I'm just telling you, this is why they do it. Until the day comes that they stop putting games on PlayStation and other places, then you can expect third-party games to not show the same thing. That's why it's happening. And I'll step down.
Okay, I respect that, but and you know, you don't have to respond to this. You can just listen in the background. But but like, I have no problem with that. I also want to make it very clear. I also kind of don't care. Like, I play on PC. I'm on Steam.
This is the other thing. We argued about what's best for Xbox while we buy games on Steam all the time.
It's not. I don't care about the logos. I care about the strategy. Right? That isn't the point that I'm arguing. I'm not arguing about logos. I'm arguing about strategy. Like, the point of a third-party showcase is to show everyone where right here inside of my ecosystem, you can buy these games, and I incentivize you to buy them here, right? And this is not me saying that like Xbox has to do the same thing as PlayStation. This is just me saying I doubt that to the average person, Play Anywhere becomes this like value proposition. It becomes a value proposition for us because we're hardcore gamers. We switch between devices all the time. But for somebody who only has one device, Play Anywhere is less appealing, right? And that's who the casual is. So
but I think
it's about strategy. What is Xbox's strategy, and how is Asha going to approach this differently than a lot of people? And speaking of that, I have an additional conversation about strategy that I want to talk about when it comes to Asha, that I want your guys' opinion about after we finish this.
Okay, we can finish this. I mean, you can respond if you want, but I think that the issue here is you have defined a very narrow position on what a third-party showcase is designed for, right?
Am I incorrect that is always I'm not saying that's what it's going to be for the future, but as far as I was aware in the past, that's what it was for.
So here's the thing, and I'm going to ask you this. So PlayStation is sort of the barometer of what, like, how it has always been done, and they continue to, not do this or whatever.
Nintendo has also
hold on, right, Nintendo as well. But if PlayStation is the barometer, because they've always done this way, and the only purpose of a third-party showcase is to show people that you can get these games only on your platform, or give people that opinion, why does PlayStation at their third-party showcase show PC logos? That means that there are other reasons besides the setup or the premise of a third-party showcase, right? That is in service of the developers. Now, even those developers left out Xbox.
Even those developers don't have the chops to be able to argue to PlayStation that they should put an Xbox logo on.
Right. But those developers did make the case to PlayStation, and it wasn't the case in the PS4 generation, and it wasn't even the case earlier in this generation. All those third-party developers said, hey, I want to show that this is on PC because people are going to buy it there. And PlayStation said, hey, let me do you a solid, partners. I'm going to allow you to show that it's on PC because I don't think that affects us enough. Because PC people are PC people.
I would expect,
but hold on, real quick. I'm landing the plane. So if Sony can look at their partners and say, let me throw you a bone because this is going to help you and that'll get you to show it at my showcase, why is it a stretch to think that Xbox does the same thing and says, hey, partners, this is for you?
So this
now,
is
go ahead.
I would just retort by saying this. I think that you're bringing up some great points, Everborn. I'll have to think about them later on, but what I will say is, are we stating that Microsoft having Nintendo and PlayStation logos inside of every single trailer isn't taking money away from them, from the casual consumer who would be like, oh, if for some reason I have both a Xbox and a PlayStation, let's say I have a Series S and a PS5, and I'm watching an Xbox showcase and I see every single game's on PlayStation, why would I buy it on Xbox?
I think the reality is, if you were a casual, you weren't watching an Xbox showcase to begin with.
See, I don't think
this might get you to.
No,
we can, because we can look at how many subscribers. Hold on.
Millions of views. It's not like nobody watches the show.
Yeah, man. It gets a third of the amount of views that a PlayStation showcase.
That's still a lot.
Okay. But there are not as many people watching it, right? So what percentage of that audience that's watching the Xbox stuff are the hardcore people that know about it?
Sure. And how many hardcore are you going to continue to piss off and push to PlayStation, push to PC? Because the hardcore are really not.
I mean, some of them go to PlayStation. Right?
Yeah, no, some of them. But Xbox has been doing things for the past couple years to push those people to PC. And if you're going to say, hey, it's a return to Xbox, right? That's what Asha said. And that we're going to turn our focus back to the console and X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense to the console person? Does it connect when they're also seeing PlayStation and Nintendo? Are you really prioritizing it when I'm seeing their logos on every single one of our shows? That's its own thing. Once again, I don't care about the logos. I want to make it very clear. I know that some people care a lot, right? I care about the strategy, right? I care about the logistical strategy that Xbox is trying to do to be able to put themselves in a better place. And every single one of the things that they do, I question, is this a good strategy? And does this in both the short and long term benefit the organization? Because a lot of things that Phil Spencer did was hurting Xbox in the short term to try to set them up for success in the long term. And unfortunately, I don't think that worked out as well as he was hoping.
Okay, but can we at least not acknowledge that it is something, sort of a carrot that Xbox can offer that Sony and Nintendo won't offer? That, hey, you can show all your logos here, so you can get to do all your marketing in one pop instead of having to produce different things for different shows at different times. And so if that can get a game to be showed at a show versus shown somewhere else, is that at least a possibility of why they might be doing it. But when we started this, I think you were in any. We're getting you somewhere.
Jago 6, I don't do this typically, but I want to refer to what Jago 6 because a lot of people might be confused. I am not talking about first-party games, guys. In a first-party showcase, it makes sense for Microsoft to show all the logos because guess what? It's selling it everywhere. And so for them, it makes sense to show it all there because they want to sell it in as many places as possible. They want everybody to know that it is able to sell. The incentive structure is not the same in a third-party showcase because the point, or what used to be the point of a third-party showcase, is to get people to buy third-party games on your platform specifically.
Well, that's one point, but
I just wanted to make sure the chat wasn't
confused. But
I'm not talking about first-party showcases.
You open that door, and now I'm going to walk through it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So first-party showcase. We got one coming up in June. Is it only going to be first-party games there?
It will primarily be first-party games, just like all the June showcases are.
No, there's a lot of third-party games at the June showcases. There's a lot of third-party games at the June showcases. Always has been.
Yeah,
right.
We would actually.
I think more recently, I think it's way more Xbox games than it is third-party games, but in the past, definitely, right? Xbox is producing so many games right now that a lot of the showcase in June are the things that we're going to like.
I would venture to say, if they show 6 of their own games, they'll have 10 games that are from partners.
Maybe,
right?
Yeah, maybe, but like their games are going to have a longer, trailer, right?
Now, unless it's a big third-party game, but
that's true.
So we've established that. So they should do it for their first-party games because they're selling those everywhere. Yes. Now, at their own showcase, are they going to show every logo for their games, and then the third-party games they're gonna not show the other logos?
No. Once again, I understand that inside of a first-party showcase, it wouldn't make sense if you're only showing Xbox, yada yada. I get it, and I know where you're going.
Okay, wait. Okay, we've gotten to step 2. All right. So now step 3, I am a partner and I'm doing a third-party showcase in April or March, but I know in June you showing all logos to even third parties. Why are you singling me out?
So and to that answer, I would say
if Call of Duty is going to be everywhere, what? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was
doing the Pete Hines thing.
I understand what you're trying to say. My retort to that is, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And this is what I keep going back to. How is it that Microsoft is going to finance? And I get it. We're supposed to think about the developers, but if you're
hold on, I think Big Bad Mo has a fantastic idea.
No logos at all.
Nobody gets logos. You get nothing. No soup for you.
Oh my god. No, but it once it gets back to the dollars and cents, right? Why is it that Phil and Sarah aren't the leaders at Xbox anymore? Because at least some of the things that they were doing, maybe not all of them, but at least some of the things that they were doing, the dollars didn't make sense. The impact towards the fan base was significant. The drop in console sales was insane. Every month, 45% down, 35% down, 55%. It was insane. So you can't be in that sort of untenable situation, no matter how many MAUs that you have.
Can I say something real quick, Lucius?
Sure.
Just listen. I know the console sales are bad or whatever.
They are atrocious. They're not.
Hold on. So people like to say because they're bad that now I got the reason why they are, right? Now here's the reality of things. Many of the months when Xbox was double digits down, PlayStation was also double digits down, meaning if Xbox was down 30, PlayStation was down 18 or 22, right? And we've seen that, and because the Sony results come out after, nobody ever says anything, right?
I mean, we have those conversations,
right?
Yeah.
But again, the reality is also that neither of these platforms including PlayStation, has sold more than the predecessor at this point, and neither of them have been able to lower the prices. In fact, they haven't increased them. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why the things are as bad as they are, but it's not just because they decided to start showing logos.
I get that, but like at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge the reality of the situation. At the end of the day, even though PC is where the most amount of growth is happening, both for the industry and for Microsoft, when it comes to gamers going to like engaging inside of that space, the console, at least when it comes to Xbox's ecosystem, still makes up a large, significant majority chunk of the people who are on Game Pass, the people who are spending, the people who are that sort of thing. So my biggest point is I think that a lot of the things that Phil and Sarah did, as much as I like them as people and as much as I love their overall strategy, I think that some of the things that they did ended up hurting the financial line of the people who pay you the most. When you pushed people like me and Everborn to PC for one reason or another, Everborn's reasons are different than mine, but for me, I was sick of missing out on some of the biggest games of the year, right? I didn't like the idea of Black Myth Wukong a couple weeks before launch that it was supposed to come to Xbox, being like, oh yeah, we're not going to show up to Xbox. We'll maybe do something next year, I guess. Right? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Baldur's Gate 3 doing what it did and all this other stuff. And sure, a lot of those weren't Xbox's fault, right? Like Xbox didn't necessarily whatever. But because they find themselves in the situation where they have the least amount of people on their platform, it allows for developers to be able to do stuff like that. And I, at some point, refuse. And Stellar Blade, great point, Infinite Umbra. But at some point, the way that devs sees you as a stinking pile of garbage impacts me as someone who's inside of your ecosystem. So I left. And then the moment that I left, I tried to interact with the Xbox app and make that my main home, but it's trash. It's nowhere near where it should be. So I just went to Steam.
So I think we should put this topic to bed because it's been belabored to death. We can move on to the next thing. I know you said you had something else, but I do want to say this thing. We joked about it earlier, but the more I've been thinking about what Big Bad Mo said, right? And
no logos.
Reezy also, if you put no logos, you are at an Xbox showcase. So obviously everyone watching it will know the game's coming to Xbox.
Xbox Swacto. Yes.
Right. So you actually don't need the other logos, and nobody has an assumption that they don't want. And if a developer's worried about being perceived as only being on Xbox, there's no logos there, so you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
I think the answer might be
no logos.
The happy medium. Nobody gets nothing because we can't have nice things. No, I'm joking. But seriously, I think no logos.
So Lucius,
we can go through that. And then go to the next
let's catch up on super chats. And I know there's one last topic that you wanted to get off your chest. We'll talk about that and then we'll get out of here. So, DJ Birdo _ DOS $2 super chat. He was asking if Everborn Saga is planning on playing GTA 6. What's the answer to that, Everborn?
As soon as it comes to PC, baby.
Hey, listen, hasn't even played GTA 5. Don't hold your breath.
But that's never going to happen. So I might play 6 if it comes to when it comes to PC. I do want to say shout out to
B. Latinos are going to be the reason why he does it.
Listen, exactly. Shout out to BT Maverick. He actually gifted me the whole Metro series.
Nice.
Oh, that's fantastic. Shout out to that's awesome, bro. That's just really cool. Spartan 6616 also gifted 6 memberships, 5 and 1, to the channel. So thank you so much. That is awesome, man. So if you happen to get one of those memberships, thank him for being so generous. We appreciate that. And then of course the great Soil Tech with a $2 super chat. He says, please, I'll tell you exactly what he says. He says, please like thumbs up emoji, subscribe and share out, logo these, peanut emoji, and what is it? cog emoji.
They're like a bolt nut.
Bolt.
They're both
nut?
nuts.
Yeah.
They're both nuts.
Well, no, they are specifically different things.
They're different types of nuts, but
I
there's
know
two
what he's
of them right
doing.
next to each other.
Stop it. So there's that. Before we get out of here, I know you had something else you wanted to bring up.
Two different kinds of nuts.
Yeah,
so nuts.
yeah.
Plural.
Yeah. What else did you want to discuss, Lucian?
So, I like to talk about strategy, and some people may not like to get into this topic, but I think that it's very important because, and let me spit out my bars. Let me set the stage. So, a lot of us in here believe that Xbox has had a tumultuous relationship with the media, whether or not you think that there's an Xbox tax or anything like that. You at least recognize there seems to be some tumultuous, very aggressive, adversarial relationship between the media.
There is an Xbox tax. I don't care what Slow-Mo says.
Sure. Yeah, right. Like I believe it as well, but like I don't want to get stuck in the mud too much. And just says, hey, a lot of people believe this, and in fact, if you were on your P's and Q's and were following the ABK trial as deeply as everybody in the Discord was, like and that there was an email from one Xbox exec to another. I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer was the person who emailed this, calling Kotaku and GameSpot PlayStation fanboys and talking about how they have to like navigate the media. So if Phil understood that he had to try to navigate the media, what did he try to do? We see that Phil tried to do a kind of a kumbaya, everybody's friends kind of mentality. He really opened up Xbox gaming to the media sphere, right? And what did they do with that? They completely shat all over the place on Xbox. When Xbox was coming out with new innovative ideas like Play Anywhere, like smart delivery, like quick resume, all of these are fantastic features if you actually use your Xbox, right? Especially quick resume. People don't talk about quick resume enough. It is literally the most innovative, incredible feature as a gamer who plays like if you're playing multiple RPGs at once, or if you're playing multiple single player games at once, it is an incredible feature. The only thing that they need to fix is that they need to allow you to pick and choose what games don't go into quick resume and which ones don't, because particular multiplayer games have an issue with it, right? But outside of that, fantastic feature. But the way that the media reacted to these features being explained, it was just, well, this is just marketing, like gobbledygook. Don't believe it. None of these features are really that good.
Hey, Lucius, can I give you just an analogy, just
sure.
that might make people understand it who are still in denial about the Xbox tax? So I'm an iPhone guy, right? And there's a ton of features that Android gets sometimes years in advance. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I care.
But when the features come to iPhone,
because it doesn't exist until it comes to my preferred platform, right? Like I am super excited about the potential folding iPhone that's coming this year. Android has had folding phones for like 7 years, almost a decade, right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Now it's coming here. So the features don't matter until it's on the platform you want to play on. And I think a large majority of the media, like their number one platform, is the one that most people play on. It's the one that
quick resume is not rest mode,
right? But it is not right. But it's also not a feature on that is on PlayStation. So if that's primarily where you play or on PC, I think this is just indicative of the fact that a lot of the media, their main platform is an Xbox, so they didn't see value in it.
And here's the thing: rest mode you can do with one game. Quick resume you can do with like 10 games. I can put 10 different games in quick resume. Turn off my Xbox, unplug my Xbox, put it in a closet for 3 months. Plug my Xbox back in. Every single one of those 10 games is still inside of quick resume. That's what we're talking about here. All of them I can immediately get back to exactly where I was. No menu system, no reloading my save, none of that. And place that I put the game in quick resume, literally within 10 seconds, I am in the field that I'm in. Smart delivery. You have an Xbox One game. It has Xbox Series X upgrades. You're playing on an Xbox Series X. It immediately gives you the best version of the game. No thought process on your part. All your saves go through. All of that. Xbox presented that, and they called that buzzwords. PlayStation 5 comes out. Terrible save experience. Trying to transfer your PS4 games to the PS5. Trying to figure out, well, why am I where are my saves? Oh, because you didn't pay for PS Plus, you don't have cloud saves, so it's all on your PS4 that you just sold 2 weeks ago, right? Like, these are the things that people are finding out the moment that they get their PS5, and it's a terrible experience. And for the first few months, even Sony's own games had this weird situation where you had to have both the PS4 and the PS5 game installed both at the same time to be able to transfer the save from the PS4 to the PS5. And then after the PS5 game had the save in there, you would save one more time, and then you could delete your PS4 game. And it's just like, this is absurd. This is the most insane thing that I need, like a series of steps to be able to load my save for the game that I previously was playing on my new hardware. This is absurd. And yet, when Microsoft made it seem easy peasy, those people called it buzzwords, right? So it's very clear that the media does not want to advertise anything that Microsoft does in a positive light. Phil understood this, which is why he tried to be Mr. Fun with everyone, Mr. I want to be kumbaya, hold hands, give media the access that they've never gotten before. Every single time that the media had an opportunity, they shat on Xbox. And that's not even the worst thing, because, hey, I don't care about, criticism, right? We're talking about straight up lies. Like, where GameSpot is out here telling you the value of Game Pass. Meanwhile, they are literally lying about what's on Game Pass. They're not telling you properly what's on Game Pass because they themselves don't engage with the ecosystem. And this is not any hate towards them, but this is just showing that because the media does not engage with the ecosystem, they don't know what they're talking about. And so it leads to a lot of FUD moving around that Xbox can't control. I say all of this to say, how is Asha as a leader going to address this situation? How is she going to address this incredibly adversarial media that have been using Xbox as a bludgeoning tool, because a negative Xbox news really gets people going, right? And so because of that, they have an incentive to always present things negatively via the Xbox way. If you as a consumer were just listening to IGN's explanation of the ABK trial, you would think that Xbox was losing the entire time. But if you were like people like us who were actually logged in listening to the actual court case, you knew for a fact that the FTC was falling over themselves. So why is it that, like, the media is giving you the opposite perception of what's actually happening in real life? And so when Microsoft wins that case, you as a consumer, you're just kind of like, this is unfair. What's going on? Corporations win again. Meanwhile, if you were actually paying attention rather than going through the lens of IGN, you would have seen the FTC is falling all over itself. It's not able to make a good argument at all. So of course Microsoft's going to win. So it is this situation that Microsoft finds themselves in, and Asha, if she's a good leader, needs to address it. How she's going to address it might be different from the way that Phil tried to address it. I think we can obviously say the way that Phil tried to do it failed. So how is Asha going to address this? This is not something that she can ignore. It doesn't matter if me or you or Paris or anybody else thinks that there isn't a media bias towards Xbox, which I believe that there is. But even if you don't believe that, she as a leader has to address it. How is she going to navigate that situation? And with that, the floor is closed. You guys can respond.
Oh, damn. Everyone, you first, man, because I need time.
Well, I just don't know what the prescription of responding is. What I do think she's been doing, right, is controlling how information is divulged, right? I think that they have been doing better about leaks. And right now, I think that a lot of the people that have been negative are starting to like at least give the grace in the interim. I'm sure they'll be back to their old ways, but unless we are talking about like blacklisting certain sites, I don't know what the answer is other than what they're doing at this moment.
I believe that the answer is no soup for you.
Oh, you want them to blacklist people?
No. I'm not talking. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying blacklist anyone. I'm saying blacklist the entire industry. You have your own method. You like, if you want to talk about something that you guys are going to do, it should be you and Tina Amini right across from each other on at a professional looking set.
So basically, what they did with Matt Booty's interview.
Yes, never give the media anything ever again.
So I don't know if that's the answer to go about it, but
what I mean by interviews, I mean anything where you don't get to control the entire message, don't give it to them. Of course, you continue to give them like review codes for the game so that way they can continue to do that aspect of their job. But PlayStation doesn't give anybody any interviews. Nintendo isn't anywhere giving anybody interviews. Why is it that Xbox?
Yeah, but because they are not Sony or Nintendo.
Sure.
Slow-mo, for the first time today, Slow-mo says something I agree with. You can't do it because that would make the Xbox tax situation even worse.
I think if they don't have anything to chew on, if they don't have any red meat, then they slowly but surely die off.
Now they'll that's not true. They'll just make things up. But what I will say is, when they make things
up, it'll be clear that they're making things up. Because
no, it won't.
From anywhere.
That is not how propaganda works, sir. Listen, the thing is this: who have they given interviews to so far?
Listen, I don't want to say certain names because certain people might get mad, but we know that one of the most one of the most disastrous interviews for Phil Spencer was at a certain location.
Forget about that. We're talking about what Asha can do.
It was definitely Phil Spencer divulging too much, but it's when you are in those comfortable situations, you're gonna say too much, and you should just not put yourself in those situations.
But we're talking about what Asha has been doing since she's taken over. None of these people that you're talking about have gotten an interview. In fact,
only people who got an interview were Windows Central, and we saw how mad people were at the fact that Windows Central got an interview. And it wasn't just one particular person that you're thinking of. That person was the loudest. They were live on camera when they said it, but I saw multiple people in the industry go after Jez and be like, Jez doesn't deserve this. He's just a mouthpiece for Microsoft, blah, blah. He's not asking them any real questions. I'm not going to say the person's name that was on live, but that person is not the only person who was saying those things. They just were the person who was saying them the loudest. And so you see how the rest of the industry looks at places like Windows Central and Jez specifically. Despite the fact that, like, sure, like, it was just a normal interview. It wasn't any crazy hardball questions. But once again, it's like her second day on the job. You can't be throwing hardball questions at somebody who doesn't even know the lay of the land yet. They won't answer your questions.
So yeah, but also, and I don't want to go to
overall goals.
Yeah, I think the point is, to me, the answer to your question is to do what they are currently doing, right? If they're out there, they're talking to Vanity Fair, right? I think if Asha talks to anybody, it really should be like a Bloomberg or something like that. And then you do the Tina Amini things if you got some information you want to disseminate. And then when it goes to the things, you just send in them press releases.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give them that's what I'm saying. Give them nothing. Give them only the things that they need to be able to do their jobs. Review codes, press releases, that's it.
It sounded like Lucius, you needed to get this off your chest, sir. Are you feeling better now?
All right, hold on. We got to read this comment from Aaron.
I'm sick of when people like Aaron
who
and
care
do this.
Well, let me read the sentence. Let me read the thing, and then you say it.
Go ahead, read.
Hold on.
What is this?
Hold on. We have, because it's audio only listening. So let me read the thing that you're responding to, and then you respond. So Aaron says, only people who care this hard about their PR strategy are the ones who, at the end of the day, just want a win in the console war. Unless everyone is hired as marketing consultants, of course.
Listen, sorry, Aaron, that's stupid. Okay, you can't say that you can't have a nuanced conversation unless you're a console warrior. I'm sick and tired of people saying that stuff. I haven't even touched my Xbox in a year and a half. Right? So
I've played Xbox more recently than you. That's crazy.
Win the console war. This is a strategic and business conversation. This is about dollars and cents. It's not about my personal feelings towards anything. It's about what makes money, what hurts you as a business. Simple as that.
And
I don't have to.
Big
I don't
Mad
have
Mo
to
is calling Cap
to win.
He's calling Cap.
Is he calling Cap on me or on Aaron?
I have no idea. I just hear Cap, so I'm just calling out that he's calling Cap. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Aaron,
but you're saying that
console warriors can't have nuanced conversations.
The reason why I'm having these nuanced conversations is because I want to win the console war. No, no, that's not the reason why.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is very much
I want to have
transitioned. This has very much transitioned from a GCP conversation to a GCP Discord conversation. We are now
cursing and yelling.
well, yeah. Usually there's more cursing and yelling, but we're trying to keep it above board. Let's catch up on a couple super chats. Day Reezy, $2 super chat. He says Xbox needs to grow a pair. F the kumbaya is she. I don't know about that. She. Shout out to Day Reezy. Slomo Backslap, who's been a member for 25 months. Salute to you and your generosity, good sir. He says the only tax is a Sonic tax, and it's deserved.
And you and Paris are the only ones. Actually, not even Paris anymore. He came to his senses. Only you are levying that tax, sir.
Then we have the Infinite Number, who's also been a member for 24 months. He says, "Let them eat cake. Microsoft may get more tax initially by going Lucius route, but time changes things, and continued good works correct bad narratives."
Yeah,
that's the thought.
And I'm saying, hey, let them starve.
Let them starve. And then the great MJ Darkwood Fowler super chat. He says, "Do you guys agree that the official Xbox podcaster should be talking to Xbox users like the Matt Booty did, like the Matt Booty one did? This speaks more to the fans." So what? Speak more to what fans are looking for, or speak more to fans themselves than speaking to what Matt Booty did? I guess I don't understand.
Yeah, I need some clarification on that. But I will say, like, the official Xbox podcast, sometimes there's fluff in there.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of good stuff, right?
They did a great job.
You can get the Gandalf the Grey, as we call him, the wizard, Jason Ronald in there. You can get, you know what I mean? Sometimes they'll have the what do you call it? id Software guys in there when they're talking about updates to Doom and things like that. So you can get it. It's just the in-between episodes where they got to do filler because they got to do it every week.
Yeah,
that's the thing that makes it seem like they're not doing that. But I do think they do have this stuff in there for the hardcore people. It's just they don't get it every week.
Yeah. And by the way, talking about great interviews, I will once again, I said it last time, I'll say it again. Shout out to the expansion pass. I'm not sure if Luke Law is here. He did a great interview 2 weeks ago, and he did a great interview last week, and he did another great. He keeps doing them. He did Ed Freeze. He did first it was Ed Freeze, and then he did Seamus Blackley, and then recently he redid Cliff Blazinski like a couple days ago, all talking about what's going on now. Cliff talking about E-Day stuff. Very, very cool. So if you haven't checked it out, check that out. He didn't no sponsor or nothing. He's just real good. He does good work, and I always like to see him doing good stuff. So
and shout out to the one and only VG Fight School. He says, yes, gentlemen, Xbox is cooking. If the media dictated Xbox's direction, they'd be broke.
I think the media is still fighting the good fight on that one. I do think it's a very interesting conversation that Lucius brings up as far as how they're going to stem the tides. It is very interesting. But to Everborn's point, I don't think there's anything different that they're doing that they could be doing now that they're not doing.
Well, I do think there was a slight course correction, right? I think the way they are talking to the media and disseminating information right now is no frills, straight to the point. We got some good news we want to share. We're going to share it. Yep. They're not doing mealy mouthed interviews. They're not even approving interviews for other people. To say stuff that's not on script. So the answer to your question is do what they're doing now.
Continue to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Continue to do that. Let the media starve, because at some point you got to have some respect for yourself. Right. And if you know that these people are going to disrespect you on every occasion, and this is not to say that Microsoft doesn't deserve the smoke, right? I'm one of the people who throws smoke at Microsoft the most, especially Windows. But why are we not promoting Kiln? Because
I'm going to be honest with you, DJ Marshman, because none of us played it.
I played Kiln. I played Kiln.
Yeah, I actually installed it. I haven't played it yet.
I installed it and played a couple rounds of it. It's a very, very, very fun game.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks like I'll be playing with my kids.
It's very fun. 100% friend slop sort of game. Get your friends together for a weekend. First night you're just playing around, yada yada. By the third night, by Sunday night, you guys are all sweating and trying to create the best pots or whatever. So it has some depth.
I know that's just a little what are we doing?
Okay. But it's a fun game.
That's what you and that's what the youngins do these days, huh? They play games and
but it's a fun game, and the biggest problem is that there are so many good games out right now, both single player and multiplayer games, that it's going to be very difficult for Kiln to kind of crack through the zeitgeist. I hope it does, though.
The thing it has going could, if they stick with it, be the Sea of Thieves thing, that it is very unique.
Yes.
And maybe that it can find a niche for itself. Let's do
in a lot of ways, it reminds me of Splatoon.
I see.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
No, my bad. Okay.
What you doing, man?
Here we go. VG Fight School with the $5 super chat. He says, if you want exclusivity, send these super chats to the studios. That way they don't go to PlayStation way.
Damn. And then, of course, Mr. Two Opinionated, $5 super chat. He says, I'm gonna make a Umbra born comic, Evil Super Umbra, and I'll need Umbra. I'll need Everborn to promote it on his table. # all logos. Y'all are coming up with some interesting thoughts.
When the next Kickstarter comes out and we're doing the custom characters, Mr. Two Opinionated, you know what to do. We can make this happen. Literally,
we can make it happen. Indeed. But I think we're at the end of this. There's more conversation to be had on the Discord. I think we're gonna still be talking about this. If you think we're not gonna be talking about logos anymore, Everborn Saga, I think you are sorely mistaken.
I'm sorry. What I meant is I am not talking about logos anymore. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Okay.
I think I'm mostly logoed out, right?
I thought it was stupid from day one. I didn't care.
It's not about stupid. Once again,
I think it's stupid.
People may be having stupid conversations, but that doesn't mean that there aren't nuggets of nuance that you can, focus on rather than everything else. Not everything is just a console warrior argument. Just because things are tangentially connected to it in some capacity doesn't mean that the person that you're talking to is a console warrior. That's what they're focused on. They could just be focused on business strategy, right?
So, ladies and gentlemen, join us in the Discord and see if Lucius and or Everborn Saga will continue the console war talking points that they say they're not going to.
Oh my God, this guy.
Let us see if Vandal continues to be GCP's kryptonite, as he continues to be. He's taking people out left and right. It is wild in our Discord. That is discord.gg/tgcp. Join us there. Lots of great folks having ridiculous conversations, both smart and stupid. We're also talking to developers. We're talking to indie and otherwise. So you're going to start seeing potentially some interesting conversations here on this show, where we're going to be maybe doing some reviews, talking to some folks. Keep an eye on the channel. Lots of interesting stuff happening in that regard. Lucius, sir, what you playing this week? What do people should keep an eye on what you're doing in our Discord, sir?
Well, like you said, I'll be in the Discord where we'll be having robust debate about stupid things that nobody cares about, apparently.
We all care about it. There's stupid things that we all care about.
But yeah, that's it. That's just it for me.
All right.
We're trying to set up a bunch of stuff right now. We have the June showcase coming up, which of course we have FanFest. There's a good chance that some of us will be there because we were there last year and yada yada. I'm still waiting for my invite. I have no idea when that's coming in. But I'm also planning on going to Germany if World War III doesn't escalate faster than it is right now. Then I'll be at Gamescom representing GCP. So if you are a German listener and you don't even know what I look like, so I don't know how you would find me.
Hey,
but hey, but yeah, we're trying to expand the overall.
Hey, you see what you did there? As Eastside just said, he's starting a watch along of The Expanse this Sunday on the Discord. And what are you saying? You're trying to expand?
I still gotta finish
Andor season 2.
Yeah.
We need to talk about that.
When you're done with that, we need to have an intricate conversation about that.
Indeed.
That could be its own show, if we're being honest. It will be politically tinged, unfortunately, because not unfortunately.
Nature of the beast.
I love that stuff, but it's the nature of the beast. And Andor season 2, I don't know if it intentionally does it, but it has some pretty strong parallels.
Yes, it does.
So we will have that discussion either inside of the Discord, or if we can convince Everborn to have some amount of time in his schedule to have like a short show where we record it, so that way you guys can enjoy it as well. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say thank you to Paris for jumping on as he does. Always welcome. Everborn Saga, I know you haven't been feeling well. I know you haven't been gaming much.
Yeah, I was the one apparently sniffling in the mic like a child. Whoever said that. I read that. I would like to say thank you. I'll be in the Discord, but listen, I'd like to say that thank you to everybody that showed up. So thank you to everybody that participated in the chat. I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend, except for Slow-Mo Backslap. God damn it. He deserves it, and he knows why. Other than that, another fantastic show. Shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to VG Fight School. Shout out to Paris. Shout out to Aaron for antagonizing Lucius.
As usual.
Oh yeah, psychoanalysis. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to the infinite game shark. It's all good. Let's go.
So until next week when we do it all over again.
What he said. Till then, peace.
Thanks for being on it.